Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael?
Welcome to the How to Become a Personal Trainer podcast.
How many subscribers do you think we lost after last week's episode?
I don't know. It just released today. We'll find out. Yeah.
What a crazy world. Anyway, we'll move on from that topic to a different topic. How's your stress levels? We were talking about that yesterday a little bit. How's your stress? Where's your stress at?
Higher than normal. Just over the last couple months, there's probably a bit of accumulated, let's call it social fatigue. Any of my introverts with any who pay attention to that kind of stuff can probably relate. Just a lot of Gary travel, a lot of family travel, a lot of not a lot of alone time
At all.
All good stuff, but it adds up, and you just need to find little pockets here to stay dialed. But overall good. But yes, you know what else it was actually? I forgot to bring this up to you. My training volume and intensity and caffeine intake were all increasing week over week for like 8 weeks. I mean, volume wasn't going up every single week for 8 weeks, other than the fact that I was going heavier. So by the technical definition of volume, it was increasing. And that plus psychological stress was leading to just a little more tightness, a little more, I told you the other day, it doesn't happen to me too often, but I did not want to train at all. And I had a workout scheduled, and I had to really psych myself up, and even negotiated with myself that, okay, I'm going to go a little bit lighter here, but I'm still going to get it in, which actually led to I'm taking an entire deload this week just because that fatigue has accumulated. But overall, feeling good.
You took beta-alanine before a deload workout? That's impressive.
I did. Well, I took beta-alanine
was that just
before
because
a
like
podcast.
the motivation wasn't there? Like,
honestly, it's the habit. Well, I don't even take a clinically effective dosage of beta-alanine.
Oh, you don't?
No.
It's just placebo for you?
Yeah. I have the bulk supplements, big bag of it, not a sponsor. And I put a little in with the beet juice and the little bit of pre-workout powder, a little bit of Ghost Energy, like that concoction I've been doing for a few years has just a pinch of beta-alanine in there.
You feel it?
Minimally.
Oh, okay. I hate that. I hate the tingles. Dude, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah. If having them bad is definitely uncomfortable.
Some people love it. I remember in high school when I first started taking it, people were like, oh, it's great. And I don't know, thinking back, like if people actually really enjoy it, but for me, I get it on my lips. Like it's like intense tingles on like the outskirt of my lip, which is just, it's not fun at all. Like it's actually very annoying when I'm in the middle of a workout.
Do you know how much you were taking?
No.
But knowing you in high school, if it was dosed reasonably and you were like, oh, 1 scoop is the serving size, give me 2. Like, let's get after it.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that? Double it. No, not with beta-alanine, at least. When I was in high school.
But your beta-alanine was just in your pre-workout. You weren't taking beta-alanine by itself.
Correct. Yeah, but I would just take a regular pre-workout scoop. Super Pump 250. That's what I would.
Oh,
dude,
okay.
that was crazy stuff. If you remember that, like light, like neon blue Super Pump. Oh wait, was it neon blue? Oh yeah, no, it was white. But when you put it in water, it would turn this like neon blue. And man, Super Pump 250 was a wild pre-workout.
I don't remember Super Pump 250.
Gaspari Nutrition, Super Pump. You don't remember that?
Super Pump Max.
They might have changed the name.
Hulk Juice by Super Pump.
Hulk Juice.
Some real branding. Yeah. Yeah, beta-alanine's not the most comfortable feeling for a lot of people.
But going back to your stress, I mean, you were saying you've got like over 40 flights this year. Coaching Gary, a lot of family travels, weddings and stuff, which again, like it's all wonderful things, but even for an extrovert, that would be tough. Never mind for an introvert.
Yeah. Yeah, it adds up. All is well, though. These are champagne problems.
All right.
How are you?
Bro, I'm good. What do I got going on? My wife is 9 months pregnant, and
getting close.
She's 9 months, and it's almost like, it's funny. Before my first daughter was born, it's all we thought about. It was like, just that's all we thought about, because you don't have a kid yet, and it's just you two, and you still have a lot of time and freedom to do stuff. Now with my first daughter here, and then also Curtis, my puppy, this pregnancy has gone by insanely fast. So it's almost like I feel like I'm not mentally or emotionally prepared. Like I had so much time. I was like, I'm ready for this one. I'm like, oh my God, God willing, she'll be here within 4 weeks or so, or less. And I just don't feel that same level of preparedness that I'm about to be having. So that's it, bro.
There's probably something to be said about doing it once, though, and that adding a level of built-in preparedness for what to expect.
Yeah. There's also my first daughter. She was sleeping through the night by 5 weeks, and she still isn't really a crier. Like, dude, she'll eat shit on the pavement. She will fall, scrape her knees, and just like, doesn't bother her at all. Like, it's actually it's wild to see. So there's other like, oh my gosh, like, is this new one gonna sleep through the night? Like, what's the, cause you just never know. Every kid is completely different. So there's like the anticipation fear, but
yeah. And you not wanting to have false expectations for what's coming. Like, oh, she'll be easy, it'll be easy again, like it was the first time. And then,
yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, man, that's good, dude. I'm so close to my front splits. Did you see my front splits? Did you see those yesterday?
You didn't send them to me.
I didn't send them to you. Oh, I didn't know if you saw them on Instagram, but I know now you're off social media, so that would make sense. But
bro, when I'm on,
look at that.
Yeah, dude.
People on YouTube are looking at that.
Looks
Isn't
incredible.
That crazy?
It looks incredible.
I've got like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches to go, and I'm
it doesn't look. It looks like you're there right now.
No, I just got to get, B to G, balls to ground.
Dude, I think you're there.
It is. It's been very fun. So that's been a really cool journey to go on.
Good, man. I'm happy for you. It's probably cool to look at all the pictures. No. I like goal accomplishment. Like setting goals and progressing towards them and being consistent and being disciplined and overcoming hurdles and getting there. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And seeing where you started to where you are now, it's impressive and not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, for most people, like, it's intense training.
I mean, the training, to be honest, was not fun at all. The training is incredibly painful, like unbelievably painful. And it's not, I don't enjoy the training. I enjoy the learning from the training. Like, I enjoy learning this new style and like learning the new methodology. And obviously I enjoy the results from it and see, oh, this is cool. Like, I can actually do this. There are a lot of people like, oh no, I'm just not a flexible person. I just wouldn't be able to do that. It's like, but have you actually spent time working on your flexibility in a science-based way, as opposed to just thinking, I'm just not a flexible? It's like someone being like, I just can't lose fat. I'm big boned type thing. It's like,
or any self-limiting belief. I can't build a business. I'm not a social media person. Like, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. Honestly, I think the most surprising thing, even I had an issue with this, where like, I was like, oh, if I stretch, I'll just stretch every day. But it's like, at no point, if you're strength training, would you be like, yeah, you should just strength train every day? It's like, no, like, you do it a few times a week and you do it with a certain level of intensity. And as long as you're doing it with enough intensity progressively, then you're going to make progress. Stretching, approaching it that same way. Like, I only train front splits once a week. That's it. Like, I literally only do like real hip flexor stuff once a week, but it's super intense. And it's been really crazy to see that level of improvement with once weekly hip flexor stuff.
Mike Mentzer of stretching.
Yes. Yeah, man. That's right.
You can run with that.
I'll take that.
Use that in some copy and run ads at all the 15-year-olds on YouTube Shorts who love Mike Mentzer.
Bro, I'm getting the worst ads from fitness mastermind gurus, and my wife does too. Because I think my wife she sees my stuff, and then she gets those ads, and she's like, "Did you see this person? Did you see this person? Did you see this person?"
Proximity of both of your phones too, being close to each other, and like, our phones listening to us, which it's been proven that they do. So her phone hearing you talk, it makes sense that she's seen that too.
It's wild what these people are putting out.
Yeah, I get them too. YouTube pre-rolls. You talked earlier about me not being on social media right now. I'm basically never on Instagram for several years consuming. If and when I am, there's bursts of Twitter, there's bursts of YouTube Shorts, there's bursts of YouTube, TikTok, but never Facebook, Instagram. The few times in the last 2 years where I have like actually scrolled on Instagram, all of my ads are mastermind gurus for, do you want to build your fitness? Are you making at least $30,000 a month? If not, let me show you my secrets. And it's someone who like, whatever, we don't need to go, but it's not just one. There are literally 10 to 15.
At least. I'm seeing new ones pop up. I'm like, who the fuck is this person? Like, I've never even seen you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's people who never built a fitness business, but maybe had a marketing background and then saw an opportunity, and they're using whatever they used in a different industry in fitness because they see a chance to make money.
Or they tried to build a fitness business. They couldn't build a fitness business.
Well, we know that happens for some.
That happens frequently. People who've tried to do it, they couldn't do it, or they could have, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just decide to switch to teaching coaches how to do what they didn't do.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's remarkable. And I see it all the time. It's really incredible.
Yeah. I mean, ads in general are quite annoying, but yes, those are especially annoying.
Anything you want to hammer on today?
Got my annual golf trip coming up in a couple of weeks here, and the handicap negotiations started yesterday, which has been very intense on the group chat.
Okay.
Do you know
how does this work?
Do you know what a handicap is?
I know a handicap is like, so if you're going against someone really, really good, then like you and you're not as good as them, they might give you a certain amount of handicap. So it's like you would need a certain number. Like you could actually score way worse than them, but it could technically be like a tie depending on the handicap. Right.
Very good. That's exactly right. So
didn't Trump give Biden when he challenged him to the golf match? He's like, I'll give you like 20 strokes per, like on each side, like on the front nine and the back nine.
Did he say that in the debate?
I
didn't catch that. I do remember being like, I'm an 8. You're not, or you're a 6. I'm not. No way. He's an 8. It's unbelievable that unfolded. And when you see flashbacks to like the 2012 presidential debate, and they'll show them being like very cordial, very polite, like professional. And then
how did we get here?
You're not a 6. You're not in it. This guy, have you seen him hit his driver? It's like, okay, guys, come on.
It's like two grandpas arguing at Thanksgiving.
But handicap, yes, you're exactly right. So it's a number, and then you get strokes. So technically, if you have someone who's really good playing against someone who's not very good, and you want to make it so they can have a match against each other, someone might be a 2 handicap and the other person's a 20 handicap. So they get 18 strokes over the course of that round of golf. And so, it's this big 8-on-8 tournament that we do every single year. And our team has won the last 2 years. So the other team's really negotiating hard to get lots of strokes. So that's where we're at right
got
now.
it. So because your team has won, it's not based on who everyone objectively says is a better golfer. Like the other team has a really good golfer, right?
Normally it's objective. You log your scores and like keep your handicap. Most of us aren't that serious, so don't keep a handicap. So we're assigning each person a handicap. And,
wow.
And that's where the negotiations are coming. Like, this guy hasn't played much this year.
You must not have a big handicap.
It's gone down several strokes from last year.
Does that, like, on one hand upset you, but also on the other hand be like, yeah, I don't need that big of a handicap?
I just want it to be fair. And so I want whatever's fair. I've only played 4 rounds, so the sample size is not. Remember my new approach of low frequency?
You didn't do it.
Not playing. No, I am. Oh yeah, I didn't do it. It was higher frequency, lower, but I have played 9 a couple times instead of 18.
Yeah. So you kept the intensity down, but you didn't increase the frequency.
Increase frequency. Yeah. But I have been playing well, so we'll see. Yeah, man. Not much else is new.
Where's the trip? Is it in Utah?
Nebraska. We're going to Landmanned Golf Course in
Is this
Homer,
the first time in Nebraska?
Yeah, we haven't gone there before. Apparently it's
cool.
The pictures look insane. The course looks really nice. So
are you all staying in the same like house, Airbnb or something?
I think we're staying on the property. To get the tee times, we needed to rent out their cabins. So
are there like multiple cabins for all of you or just one big one?
No, they're small. I think there's 4 small. The cabins are just for sleeping in.
Yeah, I understand how a cabin works.
Well, you asked if they're huge.
I didn't know if like, because didn't you have like one big house in Utah or something where you guys were last year?
Dude, you went to Utah last year on your snowboarding trip, and you had a big house with all of your friends.
Colorado.
I never went to Utah.
Where was the trip?
Wisconsin or northern Minnesota?
Oh, why did I have this? There was a big trip that like a big like some type of a bachelor's party or something you were gonna go to in Utah, and then like you couldn't go last minute. Right? That was a couple years ago.
I don't even know if that was in Utah. I think that was 5 years ago. That's amazing. Yeah.
I thought that was like last year.
Time, bro. Time is flying.
Yeah,
we got cabins there. It'll be fun.
And you're not drinking.
I haven't drank in a year.
Since that trip.
I was overserved last year. Had a very not fun Sunday morning car ride home, and haven't had a sip of alcohol since then.
Yeah, you were telling me. I remember after that trip, you're like, dude, I'm never drinking again. And you've done it. You haven't drank since. That's crazy.
It's not hard for me. That's not my vice of choice. Like,
yeah,
food, on the other hand, I have started to realize is something that I have more thoughts and temptations around than I realized. For like a 24-hour period, I was live texting Jordan my thoughts about, desserts and temptations and portion sizes.
I loved that. I liked when you were like sending me these Keebler cookies and explaining your strategy. Like, all right, like I would really want this, but I'm going to go shower and brush my teeth.
Yeah. Well, here's what on the podcast and in our discussions, I think maybe either I am not self-aware enough to know my thought process in the moment, and so it doesn't come across clearly, or I've just let you misinterpret me as having like the most insanely dialed hunger signaling / portion control / relationship with food of all time. When in reality,
just put these relationship food in air quotes, like relationship food.
It's just not a term I use as often, but I thought it made sense. I wasn't meant to be offensive. But yeah, dude, I had like a big, 50, 60 grams of protein. I think it was a Chipotle bowl, like solid meal, beans in there, good amount of fiber. And then afterwards, so I'm physiologically full. I just had 900 calories and 16 ounces of water.
A lot of protein. Yeah.
And then saw these little Keebler cookies in our pantry. I was like, what are these? Where did these come from? Opened it up, had one. Okay, they're delicious. And what was it? Serving size 4 cookies. And there were either 6 or 8 servings in the container. And I had a serving. It was like, okay, I could easily, or I had 5 cookies. It's like I could easily crush this entire box of cookies right now and not feel bad at all and not even feel really full afterwards. And I really want to do that. And I was just laying there like with the box cookies. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put these away. I'm going to go brush my teeth. As like a little reset, take a shower, drink some water, and boom, I was good. But I think previously, without having talked that out with you in the moment, there was an assumption that it just happened much more naturally and intuitively and with less willpower / decision-making / temptation.
Yeah, that's exactly. You sent another thing. I forget what it was. It was in that like container and you're like, hey, we had these like ridiculous, I forget what it was. It was this ridiculously
crumble cookies.
Crumble cookies. Yeah, insanely good looking. And you were like, hey, I'm going to put these in a different drawer, like an obscure drawer. And I called you and I was like, yeah, but you still know which drawer they're in and you got to like handle it. And I said, if that was me, I would just take it out of the container and throw it out. Because if it's sitting in there and I know it's there, I'm like, it's just going to be, and like literally take it out of the container. Because if you put it in the container in the trash, like it's still fine. So you got to take it out of the container and put it in the trash.
Fair game to dig it out of there.
Yeah. So it's like, and then you were like, no, you would do that as well, depending on what it is or whatever. But like, if you can put it in an obscure drawer and then forget about it, that's fine. But you said, you do the same thing.
My wife's cousin brought us these super nice cookies. I didn't want to throw them out the second they walked out the door. So I figured that put them in the obscure drawer for 24 hours before I threw them out was more appropriate.
Yeah.
Than just like immediately putting this gift in the trash.
That was so nice of you.
Yeah. But it's environment, going back to when everyone, including me, I think, intentionally or accidentally was ripping off Atomic Habits. Environment is so important for decision making. And when you have access or even your sight lines have certain things in them, like dessert foods, you're just more likely to overeat those things than setting up an environment that has healthier options and less or fewer of the things that you might more easily overeat.
I never thought about it this way, but when you go to someone's house, like your cousin just came over to your house and they gave you the food. But you know how sometimes, like whether it's Thanksgiving or a holiday, and you're arguing over who's going to take the food, either no, you take it or we'll take it. And usually they're like, no, you take it. No, you take it. Essentially what you're both arguing for is who's going to throw it out. That's really what it boils down to. You're both arguing to be like, no, you throw it out. No, you throw it out. When it's really, you're trying to pass it off as like, no, I want you to have it. No, I want you to have it. But obviously there also is the part of being like, listen, if this is in my house, I'm going to eat it. So it's like, all right, well then if I am the one that's stuck with it, then I'm just going to fucking throw it out. So that's what the whole argument is.
I have never thought of it like that.
Right?
Do you think that's always, it probably depends on the people and it depends on what the food is. If it's like
fitness people or health conscious people, you're arguing over who's going to throw it out. If you're not health conscious people, you're arguing over who's going to eat it.
And if it's, leftover turkey from Thanksgiving or is it leftover pumpkin pie?
Yeah. I mean, turkey's great because then you've got protein for like a week. You got turkey sandwich, you got lunch made for that whole week. So that's fine. But yeah, if it's pumpkin pie or
apple pie or
apple crunch or something, it's a real problem.
Apple crisp is a real problem for you?
Apple crisp, dude. Oh my God. My wife makes a really good one. It's like a very healthy one.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, it is a problem, but it's not a problem.
And she does that great like berries with, what was it? Like some kind of cream?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about with Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that low
something sweet after dinner, but it's berries and low calorie and delicious.
Yeah. I gotta give a shout. I was thinking about this while we were talking about the alcohol thing. I gotta give a shout to one of the mentorship members, and she'll love it. I know she listens to the podcast every week. Rachael Schwartz. She had a post on social media go nuts recently, and I started thinking about it when you were talking about alcohol, and just like you were just describing how you are with alcohol. And right now it's a big thing in the fitness world to be like getting rid of alcohol. No, don't drink. And Rachel's awesome. Like Rachel she doesn't give a fuck. She is who she is. She is crushing it with her business. It's absolutely wild. And she made this post recently where basically she just said all of the stuff that she enjoys, that so much of which goes against what is popular in the fitness industry right now. So she was like, I love booze. I really like to drink. And she was like, I like doom scrolling at night instead of fucking reading. Just like all of this, just like went on a big list of all the things that she enjoys doing. And the post went nuts and got a great response. I wanted to give her some props because she works super hard and she's great. She's in the mentorship. And I just started thinking about that as soon as you said or we were talking about the alcohol.
That's amazing. Congrats, Rachael. And that's a great concept for a post too.
Yeah. Just telling the truth, right? Not pretending, just telling the truth.
Regardless of what she thinks the outcome might be or what people might think, going against trends. And she's been killing it now for years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Should we fire up some questions?
All right. So here's a question so I'll tell you what the question is, and then I'll tell you where my mind goes. The question is, what's the best lifts exercises to improve pull-ups or chin-ups? Where my mind goes is potentially some overrated exercises to improve chin-ups. Like, for example, I think a major overrated one is band assisted. And we could talk. I'm not saying it's useless. I'm not saying it's bad, but I think it is very overrated. And the reason I think it's overrated is, number one, it's because it's usually the first one that people go to is a band assisted chin up. It's like, all right, I want to get better at chin ups. I'm going band assisted. There are a number of issues. We'll start off with the issue that I think is the least discussed, which is a band assisted chin up for a complete beginner. And especially if we're talking about someone who's not very fit, hasn't really been to the gym before, it's really difficult to set up by yourself, by the way. Mm-hmm. It can be nerve wracking, can be scary. You got to fucking crank that band down depending how strong the band is. There's a lot of potential issues. I've seen it go in people's crotches before, whoop, snap back up. There's some issues with it. Mm-hmm. That's just the practical, behavioral, psychological side. The other aspect, which I think is more discussed, but not enough, is that the hardest part of the chin up is when you're fully extended at the bottom. And that's where the band assisted chin up is the easiest. You have the most tension on the band, the most assistance from the band. I think the band assisted chin up is actually, it shouldn't be the main drill that you use if you can't do a chin up. It can be one of them, but I actually think a better one is just slow eccentric chin ups. Mm-hmm. Going all the way down. And by the way, you can use band assisted with that if you need to. If you can't do that by yourself yet, you can use band assistance. And I actually think that will be better than doing band assisted regular chin ups, because you're always stronger eccentrically than you are concentrically. So you'll be able to use less band assistance doing the eccentric only chin ups than you would if you were doing the concentric chin-ups. And that way you can actually get stronger in that range of motion at the bottom, arms fully extended. What do you think?
I think that makes a lot of sense, especially that it's not the easiest to set up. So someone who needs a lot of assistance / isn't very comfortable in the gym, doesn't have a lot of experience setting up various exercises, and they're on their own, not working with someone, it's definitely harder for them to get in position. And yeah, man, I love you wanting to get maximum tension in the stretch position. Why not, right? I also really like slow eccentrics as a way to build pull up and chin up strength. I like all overhead pulling motions to build towards being able to do a pull up or a chin up, which means all grips and variations of lat pull downs, eccentric chins, assisted chins. Even rowing is going to have a crossover effect. Your back's getting stronger. If you get a stronger row, it's going to help you pull overhead stronger as well. Losing weight, if you have weight to lose, and if that's a goal, and if you need to lose weight for your health, obviously, then you have, if you go from 190 to 180, it's going to be easier to pull 180 up than it is to pull 190 up, which is why I actually really like programming for people who enjoy pull-ups and chin-ups. I like programming them most in a cut, whereas they can be kind of discouraging to program as a primary movement for someone who's trying to build muscle, because they get harder and progress is slower on them, and you feel like you're not doing as well, even though if your reps stay consistent as you go from 190 to 200, you're getting stronger on that overhead pulling move. But it's like,
correct.
I've been stuck at 9 reps here for the last 12 weeks. Like, what the heck is going on? So I slightly favor toward lat pull down as a primary overhead pulling movement for someone who's trying to build muscle compared to a pull up or a chin up for someone who's trying to lose body fat.
Love that. And I also think it's important. Like, I think people really overlook how a 5 to 10 pound difference in body weight can dramatically impact your pull up or chin up. I mean, it's substantial. And to see how substantial it is, just strap an extra 10 pounds on you and see how much harder it is. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. And, I would really love to spend time speaking with high level rock climbers and learning about their eating habits. Because I would imagine, because I've never spent time speaking with many high level rock climbers, I would imagine there's some real disordered eating among that population because they're all so freaking skinny and they have to be in order to do what they do. Like, if they add 10 pounds to their frame, it makes their job way more difficult. And by the way, not only just muscle, not only just fat, but also muscle. You had 10 pounds of muscle. It actually makes it way more difficult to rock climb. So they have a very unique challenge in terms of staying as light as possible while also being very strong, which comes from a lot of joint and ligament strengthening without putting on muscle mass. But I would imagine in order to continue to stay as lean as so many of these people are, there's probably some real disordered eating that I've never really thought of before in a group of people who deliberately need to weigh as little as possible.
If you're an elite rock climber and want to talk with Jordan, now's your time. Hit him up.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. Since we spoke about reverse dieting and the mentorship a couple weeks ago, there was something you said that I wanted to bring up on the podcast. I remember. I don't know if you remember, but something happened in the last month with reverse dieting, because out of nowhere, it's blowing up in my Q&A. Something happened where now that's one of the cool parts about having so many questions that come in to my question box. I get I can put my thumb on the trends going on. Something happened last month where now reverse dieting is it again. And that happens every few years. Things cycle back in and out. Right now, every few questions is, what do you think of reverse dieting? How do I reverse diet? It's like reverse dieting. But you brought up something with reverse dieting in the Q&A that I remember I said, like, hey, let's talk about this in the pod. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I do, but before we get to that, can we lay the groundwork for what these people are asking?
Yeah.
Like, because we know what the technical definition of reverse dieting is. I don't know that the people asking are talking about the same thing that we are talking about.
Okay. So you want to...
I'm more asking you as the trend spotter, like, are these people who think that, I'm eating 1,500 calories per day, I weigh 240 pounds, and I'm completely plateaued, and so I need to reverse diet 100 calories a week for the next 10 weeks to 2,500 calories, and by eating more, then I'll lose body fat. Is that what they think reverse dieting is?
I think that's what they believe it is. Correct.
Okay. So we're not talking about like a post, bodybuilding show competitor.
Correct.
Who is super lean and wants to slowly. We're not talking about that.
No, that's like who it's really good for. But no, I think everyday people are seeing fitness influencers extrapolating this to everyday people. And then they're like, oh, like I'm 240 pounds and I think I'm eating 1,500 and that's not working. So I must need to eat more in order to increase my metabolism to lose fat. Like that's what I think is going on. There's a clear miscommunication.
So great. Thank you. What's actually happening is if someone goes from 1,500 to 2,500 calories over 10 weeks, 100 calories a week at 240, and they start to lose weight through this process, they start to lose body fat by increasing their calories. What is actually happening is they weren't eating 1,500 calories. They might have been eating 1,500 calories some of the days, but then whether it's, very high calorie weekends or random binges or just not tracking accurately and consistently, they weren't eating 1,500 calories. But through the process of their reverse diet, their adherence has increased. Maybe it's because they're starting to be on more calories, and so they're not in as huge of a deficit, so their hunger isn't as intense, so they actually can stick with that. Whatever the case might be, if someone sees progress going from 1,500 to 2,500, it's because they weren't actually eating 1,500, but as they increase their calories, they're actually hitting their new intended target, 1,800, 1,900, 2,000, 2,100. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the really unique way of incorporating reverse dieting that you spoke about to the mentorship that I just thought I had never heard anyone discuss before?
Yeah, I feel like you're setting me up with, I'm happy to. I hadn't thought anything of this being special or unique, but what I said was, rather than using reverse dieting for people who want to lose body fat and are struggling to lose body fat, or people who, and this is the actual traditional way, someone who's done with a cut and maybe has some psychological issues around the scale. They don't want to jump 500 or 700, 800 calories up overnight to their quote estimated maintenance because they might overshoot it. They might end up gaining scale weight as a result from water and carb storage. But for whatever reason, they want to slowly increase their calories, which is another like more logical, more traditional way of using reverse dieting. So it's neither of those two, but the place where I use it the most is with clients who are in a calorie surplus. And the reason for that is over time, if someone's in a long bulk, most people are going to have to increase their calories through the course of that bulk. So by monitoring their waist measurements and scale weight over time, daily averages for weeks and months, and adjusting their calories to see, or rather to keep the rate of weight gain consistent, not too high, not too low, right? Because if you're gaining, let's say, a pound or a pound and a half a week on average as a natural lifter, you're gaining 6+ pounds a month. Too much of that is body fat relative to muscle gain, which is not good for building muscle. It's going to cut the time that you're in a bulk. Like, it's not good for many reasons. So trying to keep a, 2 to 3 pounds a month average rate of weight gain through experience, I've just noticed, requires increasing calories maybe every 4 to 8 weeks, we'll say 6 to 8 weeks, maybe. And that's partly because through building muscle, BMR is increasing, which is a very small component of it, but I still think it's a higher component of it than the evidence-based community. TDEE definitely increases based on increases in NEAT from overfeeding, which again are going to differ. We talked about this maybe last pod or the one before, but based on genetic differences even if we don't know the exact reason, some people become more active when in a surplus than others. And so the people who become more active are burning more calories every single day are going to need more frequent increases in their intake. Yeah, that's an area where I've consistently used, we'll call it reverse dieting, but like increasing calories over time to help someone achieve their goal and doing it in, 100 to 150 calorie increments, right? It's not like, okay, you've plateaued in your muscle gain phase, so now we're going to increase your calories by 500. It's not a rate that makes sense. Usually it's, let's see, if someone's bulking on 3,100, we're talking like a 3%, 3 to 4 to 5% increase in calorie intake.
And what I love many things about this, but it's not that the process is unique. It's that you attributed the same name to it, even though it's not about losing fat. It's about gaining muscle. Mm-hmm. And I think when people hear about reverse dieting, they only think about fat loss. But attributing it to muscle gain as well, I think it gives you a more clear picture of what it is and why it's working and how it can be helpful. And so I thought that was just genius. And it's those, I know you were like, I don't think this is anything crazy. I think it's one of those nuances and things we can attribute to this methodology that actually can make a big difference in how people view it. So I thought that was worth sharing. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything else on the concept in general outside of that application?
I mean, I think in general, it's very overrated, overplayed. I think most people in the industry will talk about it because it sounds unique. It sounds like a cool, fun, unique, exciting way to lose fat that many people don't understand. I mean, even the name is unique, or reverse dieting, right? Like, just the name itself is like, oh my gosh, like, I've been dieting and it hasn't been working. Like, what's reverse dieting? It's just everything around it makes people, it has this illusion of complexity. So it can work. But I think the main, from a fat loss perspective, or for it maybe staying lean perspective, the main group this is for people who are immediately post show or post photo shoot or post getting insanely lean. And you slowly want to add calories back, mainly because this person is obsessed with staying insanely lean. Like, that's really it. That's who it's mainly for. It's not for the average individual who like is already like not super lean, like,
and wanting to lose fat.
Correct. It's not for you. It's just not for you.
Do you know who's pushing it that has led to so many questions around it? Was there like one piece of content that
really
went bonkers? Or okay,
I'm really I've realized I'm very out of touch with what's going on in the fitness industry. People send me posts from people who I've never heard of all the time, and
well, and I ask because the people who I have heard talk about reverse dieting do talk about it in a good way, whether it's Lane Norton or whether it's the Mind Pump guys. Like, when it comes, when those guys bring it up, what they're saying makes sense. So I was wondering if there was some like, crazy YouTube pre-roll guy who was selling his reverse dieting course to lose fat or something. Okay.
Probably. I mean, when Lane and Mind Pump guys talk about it, from what I've seen, they talk about it very logically and they don't sensationalize it.
Correct.
There's also the chance that people are hearing it from them, but then they don't fully understand it. And so they just remember, oh, well, those guys spoke about reverse dieting and that sounds really incredible and insane. And so what is it? How does it work? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Because maybe they just didn't understand it the first time they heard it. So that could be it as well. But dude, I'm out of touch with the industry.
No, you're not.
Oh, dude, I am.
You're the most in touch because you have all those DMs right there in your question box and you're keeping up with the trends.
I'm out of touch with the who's who.
Oh,
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's
a great
to
thing. Not be part of that.
You want to be in touch with your audience and out of touch with your competitors.
Yeah, bro, that's exactly right. Okay, here's a good one. She said, I'm 130 pounds down, which is fucking amazing. Huge congrats.
Let's go.
I'm 130 pounds down and I'm scared shitless it's all going to come back. Help. What would your advice be?
First of all, unbelievable accomplishment.
Yeah.
Assuming that you wanted to and had to lose that weight to be healthier, which seems to be the case. I think my advice,
130 pounds.
My advice would be, very contextual on how this person did it. I think, right? Like, did it happen in? I almost don't think I can
cleanse.
Yeah. What was the method? How sustainable is that? If it's sustainable, the advice is different than, I did this by. I actually saw this wild. I almost sent you this YouTube short this morning. I was like, dude, you should make content out of this. This person was promoting.
You didn't send it.
No, I didn't. Like, this person was promoting a fat loss strategy that was 36 off, 12 on. And apparently apparently that activates maximum belly fat burning mode by eating in a 12-hour window and then not eating for 36 hours. And it's traditionally done in 30-day increments. And I'm just like, what is that doing to that person psychologically where they can't have a single calorie every other day for an entire month?
Dude, it's just that the fitness industry is so funny. You know, when intermittent fasting first started, especially with like Martin Birkin, for example, so many people were against it. No, you need to eat every few hours. You just need to eat to stoke the metabolic fire. And then they were like, oh, wait, maybe this does actually work. Maybe it's like just another great strategy, regardless of it's just like, it's not about meal timing. And if you don't like eating breakfast, then cool, then you can have bigger meals. And then it went to, well, if 16 hours fasted in 8 hours is good, then 20 hours and 4 hours must be better. And then if that's good, then maybe like 1 day on, 1 day off. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe like 2 days on, 1 day. It's just like, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier until we get to people doing this shit.
But from a lifestyle perspective, how are you supposed to not eat every other day for extended periods of time?
Bro, I mean, I ask myself this question about basically every diet, like carnivore, really? You're literally just going to eat meat every day?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's from a lifestyle. Like, that's crazy to me. I mean, at least with veganism, it's because there's real like moral and ethical reasons behind why they're doing it.
What percentage of vegans, because yes, I think that is the respectable reason to not eat any animal products, but what percentage of vegans is that their reason, do you think?
Well, so this is, I only know this because I've gotten chewed out before. Vegans are all ethical based. When someone says they're plant-based, vegan isn't a diet. Vegan is a lifestyle is what they say. Vegan is because it's their moral and ethical reasons. Plant-based
why do they get to define the word? Why do they get to change the definition of the word? That wasn't what it meant 5 years ago.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I'm not an expert in it, but that's what I've found is when people say they're vegan based on the morals and ethics, and people say they're plant-based when it's not necessarily about the morals and ethics, but they think it's because of the health benefits of it, which anyone with a little bit of knowledge around fitness and nutrition can understand that just because you eat plant-based doesn't mean that it's healthier at all. Like, there are major issues that can come with that. So,
advice for this person who lost 130 pounds.
I forgot the fucking question.
All good. And is afraid to regain.
Yeah. So, I mean, number one, I would say is like, I think it's a valid fear, right? Like when people are like, don't be scared, it's like, but I am. So I think number one, it's a valid fear. Like, I get it. It's a valid fear. I think another thing that I'd always say to people who are worried about this is the good news is like, now you know how to do it, right? Like I'm assuming it's not something insanely extreme, like that fat, sick, and nearly dead juice cleanse that so many people have tried. My brother tried that, and
oh really?
Yeah, not good. No one do it. It's really bad. But my brother's doing way better now. But you don't want to do one of the juice cleanses. But what I'll say is this: assuming it's not insanely restrictive, now you know how to do it, which is a major, major win. Because even if you gain back 20 pounds, cool. Now you know how to do it. Now, what I'll also say is you're probably going to gain some of it back. Like, and by that, it means could be 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Like, there will probably be a little bit of a regain. That's normal. Like, because maintenance is a little bit of a fluctuation. Like, anyone can fluctuate between 5, 10 pounds, like top or bottom, like from their high to their low. Don't go into a spiral as soon as you gain a couple of pounds. Don't freak out because, oh my God, I've gained a couple pounds. So that means I'm going to gain 128 pounds back because you gained 2. Like, that's not how it works. It's normal to have fluctuations. I would clearly establish, hey, this is my top and this is my bottom. This is like the top end of the range that I'm okay being at, like could be 5, 7 pounds above where you are now. And this is the bottom end of the range where I want to be. If you get to that top end of the range, you have a non-negotiable, like I'm back on my shit. Like, I'm tracking my calories, I'm weighing my food, like until I get back down to a more comfortable range that isn't here. That's what I would recommend. And obviously this is all assuming it's more of a sustainable approach, but I'll also say there are people who've lost a lot of weight doing something very unsustainable, and then they switch to something more sustainable and they keep the weight off. Like, that happens. I don't think it's the majority. No, I don't think. I know it's not the majority, but like, that still happens. You can still do it. You just got to be aware of portion control. And I think the best thing you can do is keep track of your calories. Track your calories. Like it's the one. Nothing is surefire, because even if you're tracking, you can still overeat. You can still say fuck it. But it is the most surefire and the most accurate way to keep yourself in check, as long as you're honest about it.
I'm going to say one last thing, because I know then we have a hard stop here in a minute. I agree with all of that. I will just add consistently strength training and making a plan to, even if it's twice a week, 2 days a week or 3 days a week, but making a plan to consistently strength train for the rest of your life is going to buy you so much leeway in terms of that weight going back on. Because even if you're in a surplus for a period of time, if you're consistently strength training, you're turning over glycogen stores, let's say you gain 3 pounds over a month, a decent percentage of that is muscle tissue. There's so many benefits for maintaining a healthy body weight that come from consistent strength training. I would make that a top priority going forward.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. This was a great podcast back. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a 5-star review. We need them. We need them after last week. We need your support. We need it bad. 5-star reviews, written reviews. Please leave a written 5-star review. We love you. We appreciate you. Have an amazing week. Talk to you soon.